Hello, everyone. Welcome to Sound Off with System One. I'm your host, Krista Kornchuk, and I'm here today with our panel of experts to talk with you about mastering the art of job searching while you're employed. Before we get started, here are a few words about System One. System One is a leading provider of specialized, highly technical outsourced services and workforce solutions to critical infrastructure, technology, life science, and government sectors, putting more than 650 employees and 9,000 contractors to work in the US, Canada, and the UK. As you're tuning in today, please join us in the comments. Rich from our marketing team will be monitoring them. Let us know where you're joining from and what industry you work in. And if you have any questions relevant to today's topics, please drop them in there as well. And we can try to answer as many questions as possible. Before we get started, we're going to have our panel introduce themselves. Our panel will also be sharing their hot jobs, which can be found at the bottom of the screen or by scanning the QR code. And to view all other available jobs, please visit jobs.system1.com. Melissa, we'll start with you.
Hi, everyone. Melissa McNally. I'm with ALTA IT Services here in the Washington, D.C. area. And my hot job today is an identity and access management expert. They're looking for someone with very strong YubiKey and ID.me experience for a federal position. Well, it's supporting a federal contract. And it's a remote position 100%. Thanks.
Hello, everyone. My hot job today is for a DevOps engineer for a client of mine in Topeka, Kansas. This position is a hybrid role. They would like someone who can commute back and forth to Topeka or move to the area. They're looking for somebody with a heavy CRM, ERP background. This is a full-time position with a client that I have worked with for at least 10 years, placed a lot of people there, and they have done a very good job of onboarding people, and a lot of people stayed for long term there. Again, it's a DevOps engineer in Topeka, Kansas.
Hi, I'm Savannah Tessner. I work in the engineering department as a recruiter in the Tampa Bay, Florida area. My hot job today is an electromechanical technician here in Clearwater. This is a full-time direct hire position. It is a senior level role, so we will be using skills and your knowledge to build highly automated equipment for the life science industry. These machines range from desktop units to full room size units, and this position would be working alongside the talented team to assemble, test, and troubleshoot machines.
Perfect. Thank you so much to our panel. Again, you can view all other jobs at jobs.system1.com. And without further ado, let's get started with our topic. Again, we are discussing mastering the art of job searching while employed. And our first question is, how can individuals effectively balance their current job responsibilities with the demands of a job search? Kevin, we'll start with you.
Thank you, Krista. Yes, obviously you don't want to look for a new job while you're on site at your current position. You want to try to break out some time early in the morning, maybe over the lunch hour away from the office, or after in the evening when you get back home. Obviously you don't want to look for a new job on the company's computer or PC or laptop. Obviously they can track that as well too. So you got to find some time and manage that time and do it effectively. And there's a lot of job boards out there, job searches you can do. But obviously, you don't want to do it in the middle of the day, obviously, and you don't want to do it on site. So try to be smart about it. You still got a job to do where you're currently at, and try to manage your time, preferably probably in the evening is probably the best time to do it.
Yep, I agree. Thanks, Kevin. I would say making sure that you uphold the responsibilities of your current position first and foremost, and make sure all of your responsibilities and priorities are complete there. And then, of course, yes, look on your own time, on your own equipment.
Yeah, I think both of you hit the nail right on the head. And I would say if you have to prioritize tasks, make sure that you are focusing on those high impact activities first and then work down from there.
Absolutely. That's really great advice. One thing I like to utilize is time blocking. It really helps me stay on track. So if you have a lot of things to manage, like a current job and looking for a new job, time blocking will definitely help you out. For our second question, are there any tools or resources that can help individuals for new opportunities? Melissa, we'll start with you.
Sure. I would say utilizing social media platforms like LinkedIn, especially on the professional side. You can do some searching and again, on your own equipment. Do searching around to see what types of interesting positions might be out there for you. You can do that without alerting anyone that you're actually looking for a new position. And I think, of course, leveraging your personal network as well. And, just keeping in contact with relationships that you've built over your career.
Absolutely. I would also say going to those networking events, maybe go to a mixer where you're going to be surrounded by people that might have opportunity for you in the job field you're looking for. So yeah, look for that. Or you can reach out to me. I'm a recruiter. I will keep it discreet. I won't tell your boss, I promise. So reach out to me and I'll try to help you as much as I can too.
Agree with both Savannah and Melissa. Yes. First, most, I would reach out to my own network, who knows me out there, who I know out there. Maybe worked with somebody that's moved into a different company, a different role, or something like that, and network with them. Someone you can trust, someone that trusts you as well too. But take advantage of your own network at first, and then utilize user groups, network groups out there, and go to those meetings. Either they could be virtual or in person. I would people that have common interests like you do. If it's from a technical background, there's always technical user groups within every city, it seems like, and network with them and get to know them and get to know the companies they're working for.
Great advice. Thank you, panel. For our third question, how can someone build and leverage their professional network discreetly while currently employed? Savannah, we'll start with you.
Yeah, so I think this kind of ties back into the last question. So attend those industry events, maybe seminars or workshops where you can connect with professionals without drawing immediate attention from your current employer. Also, you can utilize social media platforms like LinkedIn and connect with people and maybe send them a quick message. Let them know that you might be looking.
Yeah, 100% agree with Savannah. And and maybe invite them out to a happy hour or lunch and get to know them, get to know them outside the office and understand, talk to them about what you're looking for. They might know other people in other positions that are looking as well too, or might know about other openings, but obviously do it away from the office, do it outside of work. And it's best to do it all. If you can have a chance to do it in person, network with those people in person, that's going to give you the best opportunity, the best chance of succeeding.
Yeah, I agree with both. And I love what you said on the previous question, Savannah, about utilizing your recruiters, because we're absolutely confidential and happy to help you. And we don't tell anybody about anybody else that we're working with. So I like that avenue. And I think, again, just keeping your relationships fresh and, making sure that you're keeping in contact with colleagues throughout any pieces of your network, user groups or, people that you've worked with, or, searching job postings, of course.
Absolutely. And I think if you're proactively networking, whether or not you're looking for a new role, it's going to make it easier by the time you are looking for a new role. So just always stay on top of it. For our next question, what are some tips for updating a LinkedIn profile without raising suspicions from a current employer? Kevin, we'll start with you.
Yeah. I would update it whenever you get a chance. There's always employees that are updating their profile. They might get a new position or they might have a new responsibility. That's not going to create any red flags. Everybody in the company, even if you're not looking, you're updating your profile, updating what your responsibilities are. Maybe you moved to a different city. That's fine. I would update the LinkedIn profile all the time. It's not going to raise any red flags unless you're out there saying, "Hey, I'm looking for a new job" or something like that. But yeah, I wouldn't hesitate to update my profile even if I'm looking or not looking.
Yep, I agree. It's looking for a job really happens before you are looking for a job. So even if you set yourself reminders on a monthly or quarterly basis to update your profile with new achievements or projects that you worked on, that's probably the best avenue. I don't think many employers would probably have a huge red flag with just updating your profile, because again, it's a very common thing for people to do. Easier said than done, but just takes discipline to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you both. Just focus on your accomplishments and try not to signal, "Hey, I'm out here looking for a job. Hey, I'm out here looking for a job." Maybe do that discreetly by, applying to the job boards and maybe, messaging people individually.
Definitely. Again, just being proactive. it's not going to raise any suspicions. How can someone showcase their skills and achievements without overtly signaling that they're job hunting? Melissa, we'll start with you.
Sure. I would just kind of leverage back a little bit to the last question and highlighting your projects and achievements. And if you do it on a regular basis, which again takes the discipline to really do it, just it's more of an update as to what has happened over the last month or quarter, and adding specifics in there without giving away anything confidential. But maybe in staffing, we would be proud that we staffed a big project, or in IT, it might be something more that you built a really neat new system, something along those lines.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you hit the nail right on the head with that. Just highlight those skills and achievements and try to make it align with your current role. Everyone's updating their LinkedIn profile and when they're in their day-to-day. So it's okay to tell everyone about those achievements, because we're going to be along cheering you all the way to the finish line.
Yes, I agree. And I think your current employer wants you to put that stuff on your website. It shows, hey, I can get a certification, or I can do an achievement, or I can get a promotion at this company. That's good for your current employer as well too. Not only good for you, but it shows, hey, other people can advance their careers at this where you're currently at. So if you get a degree or a certification or a promotion, put that on your website as soon as possible, or put it on your LinkedIn profile as soon as possible.
Absolutely. And if you are getting certifications on LinkedIn Learn, one of the features is that it'll automatically post for you the new certificate that you've earned. You just have to click share. So something to help you out, a little quick tip. How can individuals manage job interviews, especially if they need to take time off from their current job? Savannah, we'll start with you.
Yeah, I would say schedule interviews during non-working hours if possible. I know sometimes that's not the case. Maybe if you have to take a day off, then take that day off. Use your personal time, maybe a lunch break, to take your phone interview or a phone screening before your in-person interview. I would just be honest with your employer, your potential employer, not your current employer if you're trying to be discreet about it, but your potential employer, that you are currently employed, because you want to express your commitment to maintaining professionalism through the process. And that's just going to make you look better. And the new company will realize that you will give them the same courtesy.
Yes, I agree. So many interviews are done virtually nowadays. And so I would find time, would never do an interview at work. I would obviously try to do one from home or a coffee shop or something like that. But you also got to be flexible for the new company. I mean, you got to find some time. I know they're trying to find some time for you. So there's a common ground you have to meet. But a lot of interviews are done virtually. Eventually, you probably have to go on site for most jobs. And you just got to take a half day, but that's you don't need to tell your current employer why you're taking a half day. But I would try to find some common ground and find some time away from work to do it.
I would add to both of those points that it would be, just keep in mind to make up any work that you may have missed. So if you do take that time off, there's extra time earlier or later in the day, or, just take don't take lunch that day. But just as long as you're keeping up with your current responsibilities and taking personal time, that shouldn't be a problem.
Absolutely. And how can individuals approach the reference check stage without alerting their current employer? Kevin, we'll start with you.
Yeah, thank you, Krista. There's two things. If you don't want to give references for someone you work with, then don't do it. You should be able to find somebody out there that can vouch for your background, or vouch for your technical ability, or vouch for your professionalism. If you're giving a reference check to a hopeful employer, a new employer, I would let them know not to call these references, because these are my current employer, until we get to like an offer stage. Your new employer should understand that. They don't want to jeopardize your current position. So yes, I would just let them know, hey, these are my references. I currently work with these individuals, but please don't call them until we get to the offer stage. It's all right to do that. The new company would completely understand that and respect that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's a lot of respect for maintaining the integrity of your references. If you've only had one job ever and your only references are your current job, you might have to lean back on perhaps some of your technical training, or like in IT, or if you still had your professor's references, that kind of thing. Keep in mind all the time who could potentially be a reference for you, so that it's not a mad scramble when it comes time to give a reference. You kind of have those laid out in advance before you need them, I would say.
Absolutely. And if they aren't currently working with you, inform your references in advance about your job search, and provide the context to be discreet. Don't let everyone know around. That could be a great way as well.
Absolutely. Context and communication is key. And if that's something that you have trouble with, again, utilize the System One Recruiter. You all do this every day. You're the experts. And our last question, are there best practices for gracefully transitioning from one job to another without causing any disruptions? Melissa, we'll start with you.
Sure. I would always recommend giving appropriate notice to your current employer when the time comes that you've accepted an offer. At least 2 weeks notice. Sometimes it's longer. That would be the first thing I would always recommend. And then not cutting something that you can untie nicely, so to speak, making sure that you complete all of your tasks and any transition activities that might need to happen, whether it's training the new person that comes in behind you, or just making sure that all of your work is covered or transitioned to somebody else within the company, in your current company, before you go.
Yeah, I think that's perfect. I'd like to expand a little bit. You just want to leave on good terms with these colleagues and your superiors, because you never know who's going to be the person you're collaborating with in the future. These might be people you work with and, help you with your next job after the one you're applying for now.
Yeah, great points. Definitely, I would offer 2 weeks. Sometimes the employer might say, "We only need you for a week," or sometimes they might ask for 3 weeks. But definitely offer 2 weeks. And your new employer should completely understand that, respect that, because they want that done for them. And you don't want to leave your current employer in a bad situation or leaving a bad taste in your mouth. You might end up going back there. You might get to this new position, and after there being for 6 months or a year, it's not what you thought it was, and you call your old position back up, and there might be another job opening or another possibility for you. So you want to leave in good standing with your current employer, but definitely offer 2 weeks. Let them know you'll transition. You'll be available 100% of the time while you're transitioning, and but definitely start with 2 weeks.
Absolutely. It's a small world. And if you leave on a good note with your current employer, there you go. You have references just in case you need to look for a job later down the road. Oh, yeah. Go ahead, Melissa.
May I add one more thing? I just thought of this actually, Kevin, while you were mentioning your points. Another thing that might be really helpful is that you could, keeping in mind you need to be available once you have transitioned. It's okay to let your current employer know that you're available for questions or anything that comes up after you go. So they can reach out to you, later on or within the next few weeks after you've started your new position, not interfering with the new position, but that you are available. It's not like you're out into the sunset. You're available to help them.
Good point.
Absolutely. Thanks for adding that in, Melissa. And we are out of time for today, but thank you so much to our panel, and thank you for everyone that commented. Don't forget to follow System One on LinkedIn if you're not following us already. We have a new contest. All you need to do is follow System One on LinkedIn, and you will automatically be entered into our contest to win a drone. The drone model is the Roku F11 Pro. Also, subscribe to us on YouTube, and make sure you tune in to Sound Off with System One every first and third Thursday at 2 p.m. for more job seeker topics. Our next Sound Off with System One live stream is going to be February 16th at 2 p.m., where you can ask our panel of experts job search questions and interview questions. It's going to be a live Q&A. So as long as it's job search related, nothing's off limits. We'll see you then.